Alrighty, so I'm filming in my kitchen today because my room is a mess to the point where it stresses me out to be in there and I really need to find time to clean it. So hopefully I'll do that after I finish filming today. This is my dog Sophie. Also my dogs and my cats are like running around, so there might be background noise, they might like walk into the shot, like yeah, that just might happen. Also, another housekeeping thing. The last video that I posted, the stream of consciousness one, I said that I was going to film my parents' haunted house, like do a walkthrough, and unfortunately that didn't end up happening because I had to work the second day that they were doing it, and then I got back and it was completely over and I left before it even started. So yeah, hopefully I can do that next year because all of the decorations have been put away, obviously, since Halloween was a motherfucking week ago. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. That would have been the coolest freaking video ever, but missed out on that opportunity. So anyway, on to today's video. I'm going to be telling you horror stories from when I used to babysit. So I started babysitting when I was probably 10 years old. I would go and babysit the next door neighbors, and I loved it. I loved playing with kids and hanging out with them and just babysitting them, and I loved making money too. I it was probably only $20, $25, but it felt like so much money when I was 12 years old. And so I babysat a lot from the ages until I got a job when I was 16. My main source of income was babysitting. So obviously when you babysit for 4 years, you encounter some crazy children. I really only have 3 stories that really stand out in my head, but we'll do them from least severity to most severity. So I used to babysit these twin girls, and they were really I don't want to say anything bad about them. They were just little girls. They liked to play with Barbies. They liked to run around outside. They were kind of yeah, but they they didn't eat the healthiest in the world. They really liked to just sit in front of the TV and eat chips and stuff. And so one time I go over to babysit them, and this girl is coughing profusely, and I was kind of I'm not really germaphobe at all, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit. But she's but her mom was oh, she just got a cold, it's not a big deal. But she would have coughing attacks where it was she would just have to stop everything she was doing and cough for 5 minutes. I'm not even kidding. And so I would babysit them while their parents were at work, so I'd go over at 8 in the morning, and then I would leave at 5. And so she'd been coughing all day. It was probably 4:15, and and then she and I think I was painting their nails or something in the bathroom, and she fucking is coughing, and then she throws up, and this wouldn't be a big deal for most people, but I have a phobia of vomiting. I will not let my body throw up. It doesn't matter if I drink, it doesn't matter what I do, it doesn't matter if I'm sick. I will literally be nope, you're not gonna throw up, you're not gonna throw up, deep breathing, you're not gonna throw up, it's fine. Head between your knees, I will literally talk myself out of stuff like that because of how freaked out it makes me. But she just throws up, and she catches it, oh god, and she catches it in her hands, and she's and I was I didn't, I feel kind of bad because she went into the bathroom and cleaned it up herself because she's 7 or 8 years old, and I didn't know what to do. It was pacing back and forth. It was I called her parents. I was yeah, your kid just threw up and I don't know what to do with them. And they were so nonchalant about it. I guess when you're a parent, it's not that big of a deal when your kids are throwing up because that's a kid thing. They just that happens, and you're a parent, you just get over it. So they're oh no, it's fine, just have her lay down on a couch, have her hold a bowl so she throw up into the bowl. And I was okay. And so that was my first story. It was kind of traumatic for me, but for most people wouldn't be a big deal at all, but throwing up scares the shit out of me. So I babysat these 3 kids for these parents, and it would just be whenever we were off school or whatever, when they were at work. So we have conferences, and so for the days that they did conferences, I would babysit their kids. So it would be from again 8 or 7 in the morning to 5 or 6 at night. And when I started babysitting them, I kid you not, these people were hoarders, fat ass hoarders. Couldn't see the floor in the living room, couldn't see the table in the kitchen. One time they were playing on the computer in their parents' room, and I couldn't see any of the furniture. It was so covered in clothing and other shit, and Oh man, yeah. They did have one really nice room. My cat is playing with the bag. Hopefully she stops. He stops, so I can. 1 second. Can you not? Can you just like? Are you done? Okay. So they had 2 little boys and 1 little girl, and they were like, I think the youngest was like 4, and the oldest was like 10 maybe, 10 or 11, because she's the same age as my sister. But the little boy, like the youngest one, it was really obvious that he had like ADHD or something along those lines, because he was super all over the place. Like, he wasn't naughty, he was just really full of energy and constantly getting into stuff. And so I would like try and keep him together, trying to keep him like all entertained with the same thing. But he would literally, it was like bouncing off the walls most of the time. And another thing I need to mention is this like 4-year-old little boy, he like wasn't really potty trained either. And so I was kind of expected to like change a 4-year-old's diapers. And like I've never raised a kid before, I've never potty trained anybody, but like, is that kind of old to like still be in diapers and pull-ups? Like, I don't know, I felt like it was really strange, like changing a diaper of a child who was like large and could talk in full sentences, and like, yeah, I thought that was a little strange, but I had to do that. And then the other thing that was kind of crazy about this kid was that he had to take a medication, but like he didn't want to take it because I don't know if it like had any weird effects on him, but like his parents were like, here, you need to give him this medication. They had like mixed it into yogurt. So like he would take it better, like they crunched up the pill and mixed it into yogurt. And like, I guess he knew, either it tasted funny because of the pill, or he knew that the medication was in that yogurt, because he would not eat this motherfucking yogurt. Like I was like, what do you want to eat? And he was like, can I get him some yogurt? So I like give him some yogurt, like I guess it's his favorite food. But I like took it out of the fridge and like because they like had left it open, and I was like, here you go. And he was like, no, I don't want that yogurt. Like I need some different yogurt. And so I was like, but Hannah outsmarted this child because then, light bulb, I was like, oh, well, here, let me make you some brand new fresh yogurt. How about you go watch a movie in the other room, and I'll like bring your yogurt to you and you can eat it while you watch the movie. And he was like, okay. And so then, being a stealthy motherfucker that I am, I took a tube of Go-Gurt that they had, and I squeezed out all the normal yogurt, and I put the medicine yogurt into the Go-Gurt, and then I gave it to him, and I guess, it probably didn't taste very different because he fucking loved that Go-Gurt. He ate that shit right up. So that was kind of the time that I babysat for hoarders and I drugged their child. So yeah. And then this is the worst. Are you ready for this story? Because here we go. So when I was probably about 13 or 14, because I think I was in 8th grade, a member of my church, my old church, their like dad had died, so they needed a baby. They were gonna have this funeral. They needed a babysitter to watch all the kids while the adults were in the funeral, because like they didn't want to have to like take out a screaming child and like miss their dad's funeral. So I'm in the nursery of this church, and they're all up in the sanctuary, and they're all down there. And so as soon as the parents leave, this child, who was like all nice and sweet, turns into a demon child. Like, I kid you not, I kind of think he was possessed. I was more than a little bit afraid of this child, because as soon as his mom was gone, he started kicking and screaming and freaking out and like running at the doors and trying to open the doors, and like he escaped multiple times. The one time that we like couldn't grab him, he ran all the way up to the sanctuary. They were about to start the like service for this guy's funeral. All these people were like sitting in the rows and whatever, and he runs down the middle of the aisle screaming at the top of his lungs, just wordless screaming. And I'm like in front of these people like trying to go get him, like I'm like in my head being like, I'm not an awful person, like this child is insane, because everybody was like giving me dirty looks thinking that I was making this kid scream. And I was like, because, you know, it's kind of weird to, like, pick up a child that's not yours and, like, carrying them out screaming. So it was, like, this kid is, like, kicking and screaming on the floor, like, throwing a big-ass motherfucking tantrum. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so that lasted for probably like, 30 seconds. But it felt like 10 minutes that I was sitting there. But probably about 30 seconds. And then his dad comes and picks him up. And his parents were way too nice to him. Like, honestly, I got spanked a lot when I was a child, like, just, not, like, in a bad way, but just, like, they would just swat my butt when I was being bad. And that is exactly what this kid needed. Like, oh man, like there's nothing, like I was a babysitter, so I'm like, that is not even my department. Like, you cannot do stuff like that when you're just babysitting the kids. But just bend him over and smack his butt. That's what his dad should have done. But no, all this new agey parenting stuff, they're like, oh, like, it's okay, like, we're gonna talk to you and just calm breathing and just chill for a second. That's what his dad did. Then he brought him back, and as soon as he leaves, the kid's like going at the door again, running out the door after dad, kicking and screaming all the way, hitting us, biting us, like, this bitch bit me. I don't mean to call a child a bitch, but he bit me. And so yeah, he's like running out the door, and we catch him this time before he like goes up, and then we have to like barricade the doors with like door stoppers. We put him the wrong way, so when he pulls at the door, it like won't open. So we have these barricaded doors, and we have these other kids in there who are like playing quietly, and every time he freaks out, they're like, because he's like throwing things and just spit. He's like taking big wooden toys, like big old wooden toys, because like our church is old as shit, and like throwing them at us. Like, I didn't even know, like, he could, like, there was some power behind that throw. This kid was probably, like, probably 4 or 5, and he was, like, chucking big wooden toys at my head. So then we're, like, holding him down on the ground, being like, you can't do that, you can't do that. Like, I've never dealt with a little kid like that. I've never really had a discipline when I was babysitting. All the kids were super good, on their best behavior. This is the worst kid that I have ever babysat ever before, and he kind of looks a little malicious, like his eyebrows kind of curl up in a way. I don't even know how to describe it. I would like put a picture in so you could see, but I feel like that's like illegal or something. I'm like, I don't know, but yeah. And so at one point we even were like, okay, we're gonna go get you Cheetos. So like we kind of finally got him to calm down, because he was like laying on the ground. Thank God my friend was there babysitting with me, just like holding his arms down, being like, you need to calm down, we gotta calm down, we cannot throw things, we cannot scream, we cannot hurt other people. And I run up and I get these Cheetos, and I'm like, I will give you these Cheetos if you will just chill the fuck out. And so that got him calm for about an hour. No, not even an hour, I don't know why I said that. He was just calm until the end of the service. Like, we probably put up with his shit for like 3/4 of the time before we gave him the Cheetos, and he like calmed down and ate the Cheetos and was kind of like a little more zen. And then his parents came back, thank God, because like whenever his parents were around, he's like just like perfect little angel, but as soon as they leave, he's like trying to kill all of us. But yeah, and so that was the time I had to babysit a demon child. It was not a fun time. I'm pretty sure he was definitely possessed, even though we were in a church, because why else would a child be throwing wooden toys at your face? So this was kind of just a short little story time. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. I filmed it once before, but like it felt really forced and just really rambly, and I didn't like it, so I was like, oh, I'll just film it again and sit under my table, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. So thank you for watching. If you found this interesting, let me know. Because I kind of felt odd talking about it. I felt like it wasn't a super good story time, but I really like watching story time YouTubers, so I think I'm going to try and make a few more of those. So yeah, have a great day, and I love you. Bye!